This is the Rays POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Tampa Bay Rays, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Tampa Bay Rays POSTCAST, your spot for instant Rays reaction after every single game. My name is Jonathan Shields, and let's get the elephant out of the room first. If you're watching on YouTube, I got stuck in traffic on the way home, but the POSTCAST stops for nobody. We're pulled over at a stop, and we are coming to you live with a Rays win, a nice bounce-back win for the Rays. We're going to break down how, again, homers equal wins. There's no surprises. Every single time the Rays hit home runs, and more than likely equals wins. We're going to talk about how the bullpen came up huge time after time after time. I mean, the Nationals have hit it every single inning. They went 0 for 12 with the runners in scoring position. That leads to me saying that I think the Rays stole one today. We're going to look ahead to the game tomorrow. But first, we got to talk about how about all the Houdini acts that the Rays pitchers pulled today.
This is what you'll be talking about.
There's two instances in particular that stand out for me. It is in the fourth inning with bases loaded when obviously C.J. Abrams gets called on a borderline pitch. It goes the Rays' way. It feels like the Rays haven't gotten a break in a while, and that one felt like the Rays got a break, and they did. It was low, but the Rays get out, and then the very next pitch, Everson Pereira hits the home run. Just a massive, massive swing of momentum. Then we go to the seventh inning, which I think is the turning point in this game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
It's Garrett Clevenger coming in first and third, nobody out, and just slamming the door. Strike, a little weak pop-up, 2 strikeouts, just money from Garrett Clevenger, who continues to be one of the most underrated left-hand relievers in all of baseball. He has been fantastic this season, man. I mean, I can't rave enough about Garrett Clevenger. It feels like he hasn't allowed a run since the All-Star break. And again, I talked about this last time. Even though the Rays bullpen has been shaky at times, when you look at the names in that pen, who do not really have confidence in? You could argue you don't have confidence in P right now, but how about getting second and third, tying run to the plate after you just sold the game to the last game, and you still come up with the strikeout to win the game? I mean, I'm incredibly impressed with Pete Fairbanks that he was able to pitch out of that. And I think with all the hate that he got for his performance last game, and rightfully so, he stepped back up in a big, big way tonight. Now, it wasn't the best start for Adrian Hauser. Gave a lot of walks, a lot of hits as well. I mean, the Nationals 0 for 12 with the runners in scoring position. I really thought the Rays stole this one, but he did just enough. Then Bell comes in, does just enough, and then you give it down to Clevenger, Baker, and Fairbanks, and then really outside Fairbanks a little bit, but shut it down from there. But when the Nationals get a base runner in every inning, you're not doing something right. But it goes to, I think the Rays stole this one, and it comes from the Rays. I talked about this before. Throughout the year, you're going to have games where you should have won or that you lost, and games you should have lost, should have won. This year, the Rays have had way more games that they should have won that they've lost. So it was nice for them to be on the other side of this one for sure. And it was one that, I mean, honestly, they were due for, man. I thought they really outplayed Cleveland all 3 games and didn't come out going 2-1. Obviously, the blown slate sucks, but it was good to get one of these where, man, they really kind of got lucky here. The Rays were due for something like that, man. They could not catch a break lately. So good to see the Rays get a win by any means necessary. And you kind of see why the Nationals are where they are in the standings. And shout out to the Rays. They got on them early with the Brandon Lowe homer. And again, we talk about underrated players. Brandon Lowe's season is not going to be talked about enough because it's overshadowed by juniors, and kind of rightfully so because juniors had an insane year. But Brandon Lowe's having the best season of his career. He's not going to hit 39 home runs like he did in 2021, but that he's hitting for average, he's hitting for power. And when he's in the Rays lineup, they're so much significantly better. It's not even funny. And that's why he is our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I'm going to do co-player of the games because I think Brandon Lowe deserves his love for what he did. And then the entire bullpen, specifically Garrett Clevenger, for giving out that jam. We never show the bullpen enough love in the player of the game category. So to do it here, I love doing it. So the Rays win 4-1. And how about Chandler Simpson? Chandler Simpson. That insane play he makes in right field. And then I was obviously out since I was driving. You guys see, if you guys are just now joining, I'm pulled over because I got stuck in traffic, couldn't make it home in time. But POSTCAST never stops. And Andy and Neil were talking about maybe Chandler needs to hit the ball softer. In the ninth inning, he hit the ball softer to get the Rays' insurance run. So you could not get enough insurance for the Rays with the way that things have been going recently. And shout out for Chandler Simpson, who's hit the ball hard. He's gotten a little bit unlucky, I think, maybe for the first time in his MLB career for an extended time. He was able to get up there and get the job done. So, like I said, the Rays will take wins however way they can come. And when they hit homers, they win. The Rays should have won on Wednesday afternoon. And guess what? They hit home runs in that game that allowed them to get the lead. Today, it was 2 home runs that allowed the Rays to get the lead. So it is no accident when the Rays don't hit home runs, they lose. When they hit home runs, especially the last 10 games, they win big time. So we are going to talk about how the Rays pitchers got even out of more jams. We're going to talk a little bit more about the offense, but I want to save a lot of time to get to your guys' comments, and we're going to look ahead to the game tomorrow right after this. This episode is brought to you by Upside. Hey Rays fans, are you still paying full price on gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with a free Upside app. Simply download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now and start earning cash at the pump today. Use my limited time code SEASON and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You can make up to $300 a year just from buying the gas you already needed. At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it's totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now using my limited time promo code SEASON for a limited time 25 cents per gallon boost. The promo code SEASON. Make sure you guys use the code. I will be using the code because I'm at a gas station right now on the way back from a location. So right after I'm done here, I will be using that code. And this episode is also brought to you by Monarch Money. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or whether what they're even worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's where Monarch Money comes in. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you put on organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. And you guys can identify as much as you thought. Monarch helps you notice an inefficient investment system and allows discover forgotten 401ks from your past jobs. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKDOWNMLB on monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. So if you guys are just now joining again, sorry for the setup. Circumstances outside of my control allow me not to be in my normal setup, but I thought you guys wouldn't mind me pulling over doing it from the car because we love talking about Rays wins and what has been a very, very frustrating kind of second half of the season. But let's preview the game tomorrow. We will keep talking about this Rays win as, the Rays are not going to be facing the best Nationals pitchers. So tomorrow it's kind of the same story. Sorry about that. It is kind of the same story as the Rays will look to get on top again. And look, it's going to go down to, can the Rays keep scoring first? The Rays have had a good road trip, and they should be 3-1. And you look at this and say, okay, what have the Rays done to get to where they're 3-1 right now? They've scored first in almost every game that they've won. Obviously, they got shut out in Cleveland, but first game in Cleveland, they scored first. Game they lost in Cleveland, they scored first. Game against the Nationals, they scored first. That's not a coincidence. I think the Rays need to keep on scoring first. And again, this Nationals team, they're just waiting for the season to end. So once you kind of put the pressure on them, they're like, you kind of drag a little bit and you go from there. But let's get to your guys' comments, as you guys have been very active in the comment section. As we go to Jack's takes first, he said wins are nice, but also nice to see the pitchers nailed down after so many tight situations, even if it probably helps playing the Nationals. I agree with you. It doesn't matter if you're playing a AA team or a Little League team. The way that this Rays bullpen has been hurt with runners on base, and they continue to step up. As we go to Doug Bautista, it's a great question. Rays dodged a bullet tonight. Is anyone else done with Fairbanks enough to talk picking up his $10 million option? I'm not. I don't think Fairbanks is a closer. I think Fairbanks should be your eighth inning guy, and you kind of utilize someone else in that closer role. Fairbanks is incredibly valuable. If they weren't going to pick up that $10 million option, they would have traded at the deadline. So Fairbanks will be on this team next year. As good, I love Lego says a win's a win. We'll take it. Brandon Lowe goes deep once, and the pitching makes it hold up. Yandy has put up solid numbers this year, so we should definitely give us credit as well. Yeah, Yandy since they always put the graphic up on FanDuel Sports Network. Since like June 1st or something, it's hitting like 320, 315. So yeah, it is very interesting. As Gary talked about, it came up yesterday in this podcast as to whether the Rays should pick up on Fairbanks. I would think they have to. You can definitely see there's a better closer option. They have to. If you would trade him at the trade deadline, because the Rays kind of soft sold a little bit. If the Rays were not a bigger option, it's just traded him. So you listen to Kevin, you brought up good points, but I think that you have to pick up that option because you didn't trade him. And, maybe pick up the option and trade him midway through next year if things will go well. But I think Pete Fairbanks will be on this team next year. As we go, Cleveland in a bunch of August, 10 innings, 0 ERA. Yeah, he's been money, man. Most underrated reliever in baseball, I will say. As we go to Charlie Smith, he said that last inning was a nail biter. With Fairbanks' recent struggles, who would be the second best option to close like that? It's a great question. Clevenger, maybe, if you don't care as much about matchups. The way with Ucetta's pitching, but Ucetta's not going to close. I would say Clevenger if you want to look elsewhere, but it's going to be Pete. It's been Pete all year, and Pete for the most part has been pretty good in that role. So his blown saves have just been loud, if that makes sense. So I still think that he has been pretty good. As we go to I Love Legos, he says, when is Kim coming back? I saw somebody who's supposed to be activated in the National Series, so maybe tomorrow he comes back. So I'll be interested to see if him and Carson Williams can coexist or if Williams is the one sent down. So, yeah, we will see. As Bautista says, Kim is supposed to be back Monday. He'll play 2 games. I don't know. I hope he comes back. So, all of us control what they can control. And, yeah, all they can do is control they control and do full speed ahead into the games that they're playing. Look, they play the Nationals for 2 more, and then the Mariners come in. And like I said, we're not talking playoffs here until the Rays get somewhat competitive. But like I said, it's admirable the way that the Rays keep bouncing back from these just agonizing defeats. And a lot of times after these agonizing defeats, outside the Mariners game and the Red Sox game, they usually come back with strong performances and wins. As we go to Gary, he says, Jonathan, is there anyone in particular you'd like to see promoted when the roster expand Monday? Someone else said it. It might have been you, Gary. Eric Orsi is a guy I would love to see brought up because he was so good when he was on for the Rays, and he's been in Durham for a while. Position players wise, not really. Bob Seymour is already up. Carson Williams is already up. So I don't know if there's anyone that the Rays would really even consider position-wise. I think you're going to start seeing Rays pitchers go kind of shorter and longer with Pepio. Anything that say any count, the Rays are super high on that. So I would be borderline shocked if the Rays don't bring up pitchers the roster expand. I would think at least 2 pitchers are brought up, and Eric Orsi, I would assume, is one of them, but we never know. He's been in Durham for a little bit. So if you guys are in the live, make sure to keep on comment. As we go to Douglas Bautista, he says Hauser's not been good. He's a goner. I think that's a double-edged sword because I think Hauser had a bad first start and then had a bad first inning against the Mariners. Since that first inning against the Mariners, he's been really good. Now, he struggled tonight, but the fact that he only gave up 1 run, again, he battled. He's a battler. He's been battling this entire time. So, I don't know what the Rays are going to do with Adrian Hauser, but if he's your 5th starter, if he's your Zach Littell next year, I don't hate it for the Rays because he's a guy that's going to eat up innings and be in the zone. But now for the game tomorrow, forgot to preview it. It will be Ryan Pepio, 9-10 record on the year for Pep. He has a 3.82 ERA going up against Jake Irvin, right-handed pitcher for the Nationals. He's 8.95 ERA. So I said it when we previewed the series back after the game. Rays are going to have to start pitching advantage in every single matchup because the Nationals, they have a lot of young, promising pitching, or hitters. Their pitching is where they've kind of gotten pinched in the neck a little bit. So Irvin's last few times, 10 ERA in August. Last time out against the Phillies, went 2 1/3, just gave up the 3 runs. So yes, pitch count was high. He's, like I said, anytime you have a 10 ERA in August, it's never that great for you. So again, I said it before, Rays score first, Rays score fast, give that Washington team a, oh, here we go again feeling, and then go on from there. So again, guys, thank you guys for hanging with me. Obviously, I won't do a podcast from the car again, but it was obviously circumstance that I could not control to allow me doing this. So I hope you guys enjoyed having this podcast instead of no postcast, obviously. So again, leave a like on your guys' way out of here, and we'll be back tomorrow, afternoon game tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully after a Rays win. See you guys then.